Thanks, folks. We're going to look at a cool horn today. This is a Selmer Mark 6 Soprano, serial number 113,000. What is that, 1963, 64? I gotta look it up. It's in that neighborhood. And these are really quite hard to find. It's easier to find Sopranos, I would say, it's easier to find Sopranos that are in the 200,000 serial number range. Already harder to find them in the 100,000 serial number range. But you can still find 130, 140, those type of horns. They're great, but they're already harder to find, but you can find them. But Sopranos in the early 100,000s, early 1-teens, very hard to find, and with good reason. They're exceptionally good. So Coltrane's Soprano was, I think, around a 99,000, and I don't think Selmer had a very active soprano production before that period, before the 90-something thousand Sopranos, and I believe it's likely that Selmer's soprano sales and production were mainly influenced by Coltrane's My Favorite Things and his activity with the soprano, because he was the guy who really brought it back from the past, brought it out as an instrument. And after that, people started buying them, and Selmers were very popular, and they started making a lot of Sopranos. And right at that period, they made a design change. Right around 100,000, you can find the 5-digit Sopranos don't have this, but when you get to right around 100,000, you have this little, when you hit your octave key here, when you're hitting an open C sharp and you hit that octave key, it closes that little, there's a little like a donut pad. It's got a hole in the middle, and it closes, but then lets a little bit of a reduced air volume to move through it. And what that does is that changes the intonation for your open C sharp and all of your palm keys here, brings them sort of under control. Whereas with the 5-digit Sopranos, your intonation was highly regulated either by your mouth or by the height of these keys, which it's like really picky. They have to be set at a particular height to get those notes under control. And they made a design change here, which is like, it closes this donut pad, it brings your C sharp and all those palm keys sort of under control. That's from a repair tech perspective. It's a good design change, but it does change the way they play a little bit. Or it could be that, but I also think they changed the bore a little bit right here. So they made some changes right around 100,000, and they kept those throughout the rest of the Soprano run, all the way up into the 200,000s. But the early 100,000s tend to play a little bit differently than the later ones. Than 130, 120. They already starting to change around 120, somewhere in there. I don't know when it changes, but the 110s, in this period, 110, 115, 105, they have a certain way that they play. It's like they have that modern design change, but they still have the vibration of the earlier 5-digit horns. And that's why I did a lot of hunting and found a number of these, because that's what I kind of prefer. And this is one of them that I got for myself. It's a 113,000 serial number, and it's got that. This is when they moved their factory to only for these a small window of time. You get these horns that are stamped with 4 Place Charles Dulin, as opposed to Place d'Ancourt, right? So I guess their factory was relocated at that time. So this is just a very interesting horn. It's sort of a rare window of time. Early 100,000 soprano, plays pretty similar to the late 90,000s, which would have been the Coltrane model. And so I'm gonna just this horn is in very nice condition. It's missing the lyre holder. It looks like somebody had it removed. No dent or damage there. Just somebody probably just took it off to reduce weight or something. The horn, it's very nice. It's very pretty, original lacquer. No damage to speak of. It's got a little where is it? It's very hard to even find. There's like a little bell crease here from just the stand or whatever. But it's been smoothed out, and it's just hard to even see. Inconsequential, sort of cosmetic issue that I wouldn't worry about. It's very hard to even see it. I mean, obviously we've got a lot of reflection here, but when the bell series is damaged, you'd be able to see. It's just very beautiful. It's very comfortable to play. Needs a little bit of regulation. It's just a killer horn. It was one of my own, and I just need to pare down. So I'm going to play it with an early Babbitt, like one of those square chamber auto links, and hear how she goes. Well, there it is. A pleasure to play. Not something I'm excited to get rid of. It just, I have too much stuff. And so this is one of my personal horns, and somebody's going to be really lucky to get it. It's right at that period of really some of the best of Selmer's Mark VI Sopranos. So thanks for watching, and good luck.